Hi everyone, it's Shalani from Live Alive here. I've been having big internet issues, so I haven't been posting very much because of that. So hopefully we'll get through this without dropouts or whatever. If we do, I'm just going to abort it until I get things sorted out. First elephant in the room is, I shaved my head. There's no reason, there's no cause, no spiritual connection or ritualistic anything. The thought just popped into my head one day and it persisted for a good week or so, and so I just thought, okay, I'll just do it. So I did. It feels great, it's very easy, it's growing really fast, and I'm just curious as to how it grows, and as I let it grow out, if I do let it grow out, I don't know, I might keep shaving it. I have no plans, just see what happens. There's been no revelation from doing it, no liberation. I think I'm fairly liberated anyway. I've just had to acquaint myself with wearing headgear, hats in summer, in the sun, and beanies. I've actually slept one night with a beanie on because it gets a bit cold. But yeah, so that's the shaved head. And so what I wanted to talk to you about was there's been a huge increase in what I call between your legs conditions, things like candidas and bacterial vaginosis and chafing, folliculitis, which is the inflammation of the hair follicles, and also further up with the chronic urinary tract conditions and certain bowel issues. And this isn't just in women, it's in increasing in little girls and in lots of males, and especially the physically active ones, and you'll see why hopefully shortly. So poor gut health is usually blamed, and you would expect that of someone like me who talks so much about gut health and how it's connected with so many conditions. And so what happens when people think gut health is the issue is that they do all these elimination diets, and poor old sugar and gluten gets implicated, and there's candida elimination diets and bucket loads of fermented food and probiotics, and then antibiotics are often taken as well, and it just becomes this chronic cycle. So it gets good, okay for a little while doing some of those things, and then it comes back again. And so what I want you to consider is, what if it's not your poor gut health that's the problem, or your diet that's causing it, but what you're wearing? So we've just had the weekend, and you probably pulled on your active wear, your leggings or your tights. Maybe you're wearing them now, and maybe they're your go-to for most days. For a lot of people they are. And we're not just talking about leggings and gym tights, we're talking about lycra bike wear, athletic support wear, those compression things, and also even the shapewear and skinny jeans. For some people, that's going to be the bulk of their wardrobe, what they wear most days. And what's worse is when you're wearing them all day, and worse still is when you're wearing them, like you put them on and you go off and do your yoga class or your workout, and then you stay in them for hours later. Because what you're doing is you're creating this warm, moist, sometimes sweaty environment with no air circulation, which is the perfect conditions for cultivating all sorts of bacterial infections, which start sort of a little bit externally and then sort of can work themselves up into your urinary tract and your bowel and start causing problems. And in addition, things like skinny jeans, shapewear and compression gear, they add pressure to your groin area and or pressure on the nerves in your groin area and a lot of constriction, and as a result people are getting paralysis symptoms, and it's after doing a bit of detective work. All right, I don't know, I didn't really talk much, so hopefully there was a bit of a dropout there. But anyway, the pressure of pressure on the from this compression wear and the shapewear causes pressure on the nerves and causes people to have paralysis in their body, and they think it's some neurological condition, and it's just from the compression of the nerves in the groin area. And the other thing too is the shapewear puts a lot of pressure, especially when you're wearing it all day, on your internal organs, and a lot of people are developing reflux and thinking that they've got some gut issue when it's actually from that pressure to your internal organs. Another issue that comes from wearing really tight, like skinny jeans and things like that, is and the shapewear, is the hassle in going to the loo. So what happens is that people start holding on. So when you hold on, that's really unhealthy for both your bladder and your bowel. And again, that leads to then infections and things like that, because we really are meant to go when we have the urge and not put it off, because it's such a hassle to pull our really tight jeans down and pull them back on again. So, and while we're talking about clothes as well, and the tight-fitting clothes, we also have to be really careful with loose-fitting underwear or G-string underwear. So loose-fitting, especially for younger children, little girls, and G-strings for the older ladies, because of the movement and of the material along that area down there. So what you're doing is the material is often moving forward, and so you're bringing with it from the rectum the bacteria into around the vaginal area and the urethra area, and that bacteria then has carte blanche to work its way up and start to cause infections and problems there. So the problem also actually continues with weight gain, believe it or not, because I'm a fan of not weighing yourself, of seeing how your clothes feel. But when you're wearing leggings and elasticized tights and things like that, it's hard to keep track of that. And as I said, for many women especially, it's what they're wearing every single day. So it's really hard to then keep judge. And I've had a number of women say to me that it's since they've started wearing that sort of stuff on a regular basis, those clothing on a regular basis, that their weight got out of hand, because you just don't notice that it's getting a bit snug. So, and finally, I think it's finally, there's weight and the infections, and there's also the fact that your muscles become quite lax. So your core and your leg muscles are meant to be on all the time, but they become lax when you're wearing. Oh, we're back. Okay, so very quickly, I had a email from someone from my yoga class last year, and they emailed me recently, and they said that after in a class last year I had mentioned my concern about people wearing their gym gear and their yoga stuff off to go off shopping afterwards and have coffee with the girls and whatever, and about all the contributors to infections and things. And she had been struggling for a long time with urinary tract infections and different things like that, and tried all sorts of herbs, like natural things and antibiotics and creams and everything. And after our chat, she stopped wearing leggings, and she hasn't had, or any tight sort of gear, and she hasn't had any problems since. So it might be something you want to consider. So that's it, really. Have a happy evening, day, morning, wherever you are, and I'll check in with you another time with, I've got a few other topics I want to talk about too, so I'll check in with you shortly.